So definitely need some image stabilizer on this. Had to zoom in really far. There we go. This is the elusive hare that I've kept saying has been in the background and no one's ever been able to see. Look at that. Magnificent. Absolute stunning. So there is two of them quite often. At the moment there's just that one. So I do have some pheasants somewhere else, but they've just flown off, I think. So right, let's bring you back in to a bit more normal. So right, it is what day are we on? Tuesday at 8 o'clock, just 20 past 8 in the evening. Tuesday. Tomorrow, well, today is Independence Day in the United States, so for those of you who watch from the States, hope you're having a fantastic Independence Day. And then tomorrow is our National Day. So tomorrow is Tynwald Day. So I'll just kind of put my hand on it. There you go. Hello. Tomorrow is Tynwald Day, which is our National Day. It is our Parliament Day. So Tynwald is the longest running parliament in the world. I think longest continuous running parliament in the world. So it's been going for a long time. It dates back to Viking times. Obviously there's quite a lot of Viking history here. You can find a lot of it, but basically anywhere which ends in by names, Serby, Solby, Colby. So obviously we are in Solby. They're all from Viking names, which I believe that means from the river, but I could be wrong there, so don't quote me on that. And yeah, so there's basically a big festival. Well, it's not a festival. The down at Tynwald, which is in St John's, there is the political gathering, and quite often we have one of the royals come over because we have an appointed royal here, a lieutenant governor who is to the royals, so obviously now King Charles, as representative on the island. I have actually met him at a dinner. Absolutely fantastic gentleman. They've done all sorts, him and his wife. They've been in the mines when the mines have been open with the Laxey Mines Research Group. So they're doing loads of things. Really good for the community as well, which is fantastic. So yeah, they're going to probably be down there. All the armed forces, the scouts, the cadets and everything, they do this kind of like guard of honour down each side of the Tynwald. Look it up on YouTube. It's pretty fantastic to do. I'm probably not going to be down there because I think I'm going to be down here because it is a bank holiday. So at which point it gives me a day that I'm only going to be working in the morning. I've got one job to do in the morning. So I'm going to be down here probably in the afternoon, get a bit of weeding done because obviously, as you know, there's quite a few weeds in the background down there. So we'll get that done and just generally have a really nice day. So yeah, just down here, going to do a bit of harvesting and a couple of videos, but I just wanted to kind of keep you up to date with where we're at and what's going on in the craziness of calendars and busyness. So yeah, so just continuing from that, come down to have a look at the elusive pumpkin plants we have. They're absolutely fantastic. That one. In fact, most of that roll, get there in the end. So when I came into the field the other day, you might have seen up on Instagram that I got a bit of a shock, and I thought a very large pumpkin had developed very quickly, because that's basically what happens. You suddenly drive in and you're like, oh, there's a pumpkin there. Because this had been left against one of our pumpkin plants as I drove in, which is pretty fantastic. So maybe we should hide this when it does come around to pumpkin season and see how many people do find it. So what we'll do is we'll put it in the middle. Ooh, don't want to leave it with its face down, face up. So face up, we'll leave it there like that. That can be as guardian pumpkin. But talking of pumpkins, we do have, ta-da, pumpkins. There's a few on that plant and these. Now, I did see, I'm never going to find it now. There is one which is a little bit of a funny shape, so that could be one of these Turk turbans. Or we've also got Queensland Blues in this area. So the kept back seed, which we had here, has got a few different varieties in. Obviously the new seed has a lot more varieties, but whilst I'm walking down this way, so we just got to be keep my eyes down to make sure I don't stand on any pumpkin plants, because they are a bit of all over the place. So this is the area with the wildflower seeds, which some of them are starting to flower now, and ignore them ones, they're weeds. So I am expecting all sorts of colours up from this. Oh, here we go, got some lovely blue flowers here. So let me just spin you around. Look at them, absolutely spectacular. So these are all flowers which are coming up, and there is some sunflowers in the mix as well. Now I don't know what colour or variety those sunflowers are. So as I was saying, they were a small seed, because they came in a mix of very small seeds, whereas those pumpkins up there were your normal size that you'd expect to see on in bread, in baking, that kind of size stuff. So this mix has got all sorts kind of going on in it. It's really interesting, so it's going to be nice to see it develop. Now behind me, these are weeds. Ooh, what's going on with the colours there? I don't know what's going on with that. It's not normally that bright, so something must have happened. Can't change it. So these are hogweed, which is not a very nice weed, but in and amongst are these flowers. Now these are very good for the bees, so what we try and do is just keep them that way and the crop this way by keeping this path mown. Now that might be a job for me to do tomorrow. It's going to be a bit uneven down here, so I'm going to have to be careful with the mower, but we'll get that cut, and then it stops anything kind of creeping over from it, because as nice as that is for the wildlife, we don't really want that stuff growing in and amongst our crops. So yeah, we've got plenty growing. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the veggies. Let's go up towards the veggies. So really happy with these pumpkin plants here. They're doing absolutely fantastic. I've shown you my excitement at the parsnips, and they seem to be a bit sparser than they were. I think this is where the hare's spending quite a lot of its time, but here, you know, that's a really good quality plant there. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just try and restart the camera, because it's not very good in the picture. Looking a little bit better, not as bright. For some reason it's gone fuzzy at the back corner. Might have to start using the GoPro again. We do have a couple of carrots hanging around in here, so that's looking really good. There's 3 carrots there. Just start to see the top of that one, so they're going to form nicely. But as long as the lovely hare doesn't eat all my parsnips, I'll be happy. Then we've got 2 rows here, which there is some sunflowers coming up. That was where we tested the new seed wheel that you heard me talking about. So in here we have got the lettuce that we were growing before, and I'm going to actually be harvesting some of that today to take up to the restaurant. But this lettuce here, these ones are a iceberg style lettuce, so they're developing a heart, so we want to kind of leave them for a little bit. Whereas down here, this isn't a heart forming, so they're going to start getting harvested. The tomato plants you can't really see, but they are there. Now, really interestingly, these have been attacked by something, and I don't know what. Only them ones. What is that? Is that spinach? That's interesting. I think that's spinach, which has been chewed. And the cabbage a little bit as well. Oh no, that's spinach. That could be rocket. We don't seem to have much luck with the rocket, so that could be rocket, and maybe there's something down here which is eating the rocket. Spinach is growing okay. I'm going to try and grow some baby leaf spinach, which I'm hoping is going to come up on that row there, just there. You can see there's a little line of green on that row, so that's doing really well. So let's have a look at, see what's coming up. So as I say, spinach coming up on here. So we've got it just here. This is it. Look at it. Looking lovely at that. We have also got beetroot coming up on here. Can you see it there? Yep, slap bang in the middle. Now that is, if it all comes up, that's a full row all the way down to the far end. Is that? This row, can't remember what this row is. Oh, it's carrots. This row is carrots. There's definitely carrots here because that's a carrot. So all the way along, yes, more carrots. That's good. Can't see anything. Well, there was obviously some carrots here because there's carrots growing off the side of that ridge. So we'll keep an eye on that one. Here is radish. Now again, this has got these little marks on it. Now, the radish seed was too big for the seed wheel. So it ended up, I put it in with the big seed wheel. But what it seems to have done is put like 4 or 5 or 10 seeds in together. So we're just going to have to see what kind of happens with that one. I'm going to have to go down to the end because I can't remember what these are in what order. So what do we have? We have carrots and cabbage. So again, I can see the carrots growing up on that one. Can't see anything on the cabbage yet. Spring onions. What I would really like to do is start to see something on the spring onions. There is definitely signs of life on the rocket. And all the way along. I can see it all the way up. Wildflowers. We're putting 2 different sorts of flowers here. And I think that's 3 or 4 rows this way. So we'll be good to kind of get some flowers coming up. A little bit of sign of the new Brussels sprouts put in. So I re-drilled up to 2 rows from that end, which were kind of growing. So these were all re-drilled. So hopefully they come up. And then, sorry, my arm's going numb. Up to the crop, which is looking the best at the moment. And it shouldn't be too far off. I'm literally just waiting to come down one day and see a flower head open, and then they'll all follow soon after. But they're looking really good, you know. Definitely would like to have a bigger patch of these and definitely get some with a bit more height on, because at the moment these are all quite short, and I think that's just because of how dry it was that they didn't get the kickstart with the weather. So we shouldn't be too far off here on these coming up. So no, they're so close, so close, but not quite. So the flowers are absolutely beautiful to see them at this point. You know, they're stunning. The detail on them, which you get, obviously that all then opens up as the seeds swell, and then the head keeps going further and further and further until it almost turns itself inside out. So if you look back through particularly as Facebook feed, you can see the pictures of when our sunflowers were in last year. We do have far more this year, so I'm hoping that we manage to get a fantastic show with them. And this whole strip yellow down here is going to be brilliant. Now, I was talking to the farmer about this in here, and he reckons that's probably about 3 weeks away from being harvested off. So we'll just have to watch what goes on then. But there should be no sprays or anything put on it. It's really good. They you probably can't see it, but the hair's running off just up there. I've caught up with him or her, don't know, might be a boy, might be a girl. So yeah, things are going good. I'm going to go harvesting now because I need to get some stuff up to the honesty box and I need to get some stuff to the restaurant. So thank you so much for everything, and I'll probably catch up with you tomorrow at some point. Good afternoon. It's Thursday at around about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. This week has just flown by. I can't believe this is probably like the second video that I've done. So having just given it a good clean off with the grinder, battery powered grinder, absolutely fantastic, not a paid promotion. We're now going to put some rust killer on it, and hopefully that will, I've only ground out one side of it, So that side's been done on the inside. So we'll put some of this on and see how it goes. It says to leave it 15 minutes. It's actually going to be left till about Monday. So I'm guessing it's because after 15 minutes you can actually wipe it off and then paint over it. So I'll get a quick video of that going on, and then we'll see if I've got about 20 minutes, half an hour. Well, yeah, half an hour until I need to head off. So it'll be interesting to see what the difference is in that time. That's some time. I'll tell you what we'll do. I will show you the bits where. So this is what I was trying to see what that's doing now, but these rams are looking a bit. So as I was saying, the fertilizer drops down onto here. When this is open, obviously that's all the way closed. That's half open. Fertilizer drops through, lands through into the middle, comes out into the spinny bits, which spin that way around actually. And the fertilizer gets thrown off on the edges. So this guard at the back stops it hitting the back of the tractor, because obviously you don't want that. So that bounces it down. And yeah, that's pretty simple. They're not complex. Some of them are. Some of them have metering systems. They've got weigh cells in them, which can work out how many tonne per acre they're putting down. Some of them have headland systems, because when you're spreading, the triangle which comes off in the spray, well, in the fertilizer, as it's falling, is designed to go to the other set of tram lines. So you actually double dose between you and the next set of tram lines when you come back the opposite way. So when you come up to a hedge or the edge of a field, you've only got one tram line. So what it does, this one doesn't have one, is a set of like fins come down next to the edge that then allow it to throw it half the distance. So it still throws the same amount of fertilizer, but only half the distance. So you get it double dosed on that section, which then matches this side meeting with the one coming back from the other side. So it's quite a complex system, really. This does have, does it? Oh, it hasn't got it on, but on this side, let me just show you here. So this section here, you could put a ram into there, so that when you get to the headland, it actually tilts. I might not be able to lift it because it's so flipping heavy. No, I can't. So it actually tilts the whole thing. So this pin will go to the bottom of that slot, and that tilts the whole thing over, so it can't throw as far that way. Obviously it throws a bit further this way, but that's okay. And then that's the same as the headland system. So it's a lot simpler. But definitely no computers or anything on this one. You know, some of the newer ones are very, very, very advanced with bits of all sort going on them, whereas this one's not. But it's a damn sight more advanced than what we had before, because it's actually for one got hydraulics on rather than just a hand lever, which means you can drive with the window shut. Which particularly if you put in nitrogen down, so a lot of nitrogen is ammonia, so that smells quite a bit. And plus, if you're in it every day, you don't want to be breathing it all in, no matter what it is, be it dust from grinding or anything. So if you're grinding every day, you wear a dust mask. When I'm milling up in the shed, I wear a dust mask to keep myself a little bit healthier. So yeah, give it all a good clean down. It's going to get painted up as well, I believe, and then it should be all nice and shiny. Now, my fertilizer spinner, which I'll show you at some point, is very simple compared to this. So yeah, but that's for another day. Back to my normal attire, shorts and t-shirt. The ovies are off, and both sides sanded, well, not sanded, but wire brushed down and painted. And that is coming up fantastic already. So that's about 10 minutes on there. So looking forward to seeing this on Monday. So slightly wild weather down here, Thursday evening, and just having a quick check on everything just to put the sunflowers here. We've got gale force winds, so I just wanted to see how they're all holding on. I think them being a little bit shorter is benefiting quite a lot. So everything else is looking okay. Pumpkins should be grand at this. You know, it's not too wet. So we'll see. But I did just check on the rain gauge, and that was 2.5 millimeters of rain, literally just now. So that's good for everything growing. Sorry, just trying to walk through the bloody ridges again. So yeah, so we'll just go have a look at the pumpkins and see how it's doing there. Pretty heavy rain, but if we keep it going all night, that's going to soak in quite nicely, and then soaking in rain results in things growing very well. So let's just have a look on these. Now, this area down here, the weeds have kind of died off a bit down here. They got a bit of a fungus growing on something which doesn't seem to have affected the pumpkins. So now you can see the pumpkins. I am still going to weed down here and get rid of these weeds just to make sure nothing does spread from them. But this is looking really good down here. Make sure I don't stand on any. Let's go down this road. So this is one bit which I did weed. You can see it's a fair bit clearer. So it's a lot clearer down there. Let's go check on the big pumpkins. So far we haven't seen too many pumpkins on show. Lots of flowers now down in this bottom area, which is good, because it was mainly flowers in the top area. Most of them are the male flowers, which I've explained earlier in one of the other videos, so if you're not sure, look back. But all these plants are looking a nice size now. Really are kind of coming towards, and even this bottom area, which was fairly bare down there, is all starting to kind of show. So I think there's just been a fair bit of difference in time between things growing and maturing. I was hoping to come down and do some weeding yesterday, I think it was, but the evening just kind of ran away. Oh yeah, no, it was yesterday afternoon. It's Tynwald Day. I was going to try and get down in the afternoon, but we just ended up so busy. By the time we took the dog for a walk and stuff, there just wasn't any time to come and do anything. But the big rows of pumpkins, these are all looking really good, so really happy with that. And I've got wet feet, so I need to reproof my boots. Just worked that one out. You see, this is where bad weather's good, because it lets you know where your failings are. So before winter come, I know that my boots leak. The giant spready pumpkin has gone absolutely insane now. That's one pumpkin plant, is all that. Lots of pumpkins on it as well, which is really good. That must be 10 foot from one side to the other, that one now. I'm quite glad that there's not many of them next to each other, because that might have caused an issue with them growing into each other. But even this one here, this is now spreading off that way. Well, that's got a big pumpkin in it. Yeah, look at that one. So everything is growing, and the formation of pumpkins is great. Well, that's got about the same. That one, loads in there. Right, I'm going to turn off. I'm going to go home. I'm going to get dry, because this weather is not going to do these any harm. It's only going to help them, but if I'm not careful, I'm going to get too wet. See you later.